Welcome to another episode of Security Minutes. I'm here today with Doug Browne, who's the Director of Cloud Security Asia Pacific for Cisco. How are you, Doug?
I'm very good, thank you. And yourself, Richard?
Yeah, really good, mate. It's really good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you as well. Good to catch up, whether it's over a pizza, which is a passion of both of ours,
Absolutely.
or whether it's over security, which is also a passion of both of ours.
Absolutely. And today we're here specifically to talk about cloud security, something very near and dear to your heart. When people talk about cloud security, their first thought is usually about security controls in the cloud, such as SASE or cloud management platforms. And this overlooks the need for cloud data, apps, workloads to be protected, just as they would be if they were on premise. Do you think there's a bit of a blind spot here, things that our customers overlook?
Yeah, I think in general, people do overlook a couple of those different areas. When you think about, like you mentioned, SASE, that's cloud delivered security. That's all about the user getting where they need to do and us controlling policy about, applying proxy type controls or secure web gateway controls, RPS firewall type controls to their traffic. But then within those cloud environments, and it could be Google, AWS, Azure, right? Microsoft's big in that space as well, Rackspace, so on. You've got a whole lot of providers that provide cloud services, and what you do within those environments is super important. And so when we look at how we handle those services, we should apply an internal lens. Are we running the right security controls on that device? What is the application interfacing with in terms of database and other things? And what users actually need access to that application to be able to do what they need to do? And that's where I think we get some of these blind spots where people think they've applied cloud controls, right? And they haven't necessarily done it to the extent they would for internal.
That's a fair call, and I think what's interesting is, particularly a blind spot around the user. Users have become almost the focal point for, we're no longer we're no longer in an office. We could be working anywhere. So the user aspect of cloud security is so important.
It is. Identity is the new perimeter. Is essentially where you're going with that, right? And we've gone to great lengths to try and apply some of those controls and get that message across to our clients. But a lot of them are fully aware of that. Very difficult to manage those different identities and really make sure that the user's connecting from the device they should be connecting from, and only having access to the functions within that application that they need to actually have as well. There's no point giving Doug access to all of Cisco's salary information. He only needs to see his own. So it's that concept of least privilege and zero trust that we need to apply to identity as well.
What about the data? How are you seeing organizations shift in managing their data now that data can essentially be anywhere?
I think what I've seen in terms of data controls, we've seen some movement towards doing that a lot better. I think particularly in regulated industries, the financial services industries, and some of government are doing that really, really well across this entire region. It's not just Australia and so on. But I think we've seen a lot of emphasis on data controls and encryption and those good things being enforced to try and control data.
Yeah, and it's also safe to say that we're seeing the focus on workloads now becoming something an organization need to be thinking about. What workloads do I have running in the cloud? How do I secure those and make sure we maintain the security as those are updated?
Absolutely, and part of that comes down to segmentation. Like I was saying, which application is used? We need to segment things to actually apply security properly to those. So it's really important to look at workload and workload security that's applicable for cloud, right? So I think that is a huge area for us, and I'll probably share some things with you a bit further on when we get to after the next few questions on some innovations that Cisco is bringing.
Doug, it's a great segue. Thank you very much. Some great insights there. If you'd like to engage with one of our security experts focused on Cisco, please go to data3.com/Cisco Security. Thank you very much.